here from Asha and part of its Instagram team. And today we're interviewing Ms. Pavitra. Ms. Pavitra, can you introduce yourself?
I've just joined the Asha family a couple of months back. I've done my psychology, educated in the psychology, and I worked in psychosocial rehabilitation. Worked in Nimhans a few years back. Worked with the tsunami rehabilitation project, and worked with sex workers and families of sex workers suffering with AIDS, and been working in training of children and counseling of children, basically on developmental stages, the changes that come about in these stages, like especially for girls, adolescents, menarche, and the changes that come during those stages, and things like that. I have a son, a 13-year-old son, and we are settled in Kerala right now, and I'm enjoying working in Asha Foundation. That's it.
Could you tell us how you found out about Asha?
Asha, actually, I had seen a few posts about Asha here and there, FB and all that. That just skimmed over it. I didn't go about it in detail, but it so happened that one of my friends, a common friend, a school friend actually, in our WhatsApp group, she who was teaching, she was a volunteer teacher in Asha. She updated in our group and said that she's a teacher there, and that Asha is doing a commendable job, and that we should try and educate a child, and that the organization is doing a wonderful job, and how much they are able to help a child, and how much it goes, how long it goes towards the life of a child's future, not life, but the future of a child. So I gave it a look. I searched and found that what she said was true, and I think 45 minutes, 1 hour is, I think it's only a small time that you can give for the life of a child.
Yeah.
That's how I found it.
Well, how was your experience with the DRP? Can you tell us a bit about that?
The remote program actually was very, very innovative and very new to me. We have always heard about from the past, especially since the pandemic has started. The online open schooling, all these things have always been there. But for us, it became a reality only after the pandemic has set in. So our children, it's become like, it's a daily topic. But that's a video kind of a thing, okay? But this program is novel in the fact that it's only audio, okay? Children who have no gadgets, from financially backward communities who cannot afford gadgets, they are able to get educated and able to gain knowledge, bridge the gap between the schooling and this pandemic, through just audio classes, okay, which is a big thing. And that I found very, very novel, and it really triggered off interest, my interest, and kept me going. And I found it in the beginning, it was a little difficult, but the resources provided were so vast and so wonderful later, and the help was so good. It's really nice, interesting to teach also.
Speaking of which, I believe you taught a student named Aarti. Could you tell us about how those classes went and how you made those engaging?
A perfect student, you could say. She's made my task as a teacher very easy. She is very spirited young girl, a perfect student. She does her homework, she attends all the classes, she hardly misses any classes. In fact, if I'm late, she'll call me and say, "Ma'am, it's time for the class." So she's like that. And we have a very friendly relationship. We are good friends. So in a teacher-student relationship where we are friends, she's able to tell me, okay, that I'm finding it very difficult. Can you go over it again, please? She has no problem in doing that. Or best thing is she'll tell me if it's too boring, "Ma'am, let's not do this today. Let's do something else." So I'll do something else. I'll give it a picture. I'll ask her to tell me what this is. Make sentences out of this, and or sometimes she'll say, "Give me a little bit of extra homework." She'll say, "My sentence making is not too good. Can you give me a little extra homework?" Or she'll tell, "Give me grammar." Things like that. So Aarti is like really not very difficult to teach. But yes, I have to find what her weaknesses are, pinpoint what her weaknesses are. I have to tell her, see, doing these new chapters. But the chapters, as I told you, I mentioned that they're in form of stories, the chapters. So for a child, it's so interesting. Okay, they tend to read it as stories. Sometimes they might miss out on the importance of going through the grammar. They just want to read like more stories. Okay, so I have to tell her, no, you cannot go forward, one chapter at a time. Look at the grammar. Let us work in depth like that. So I have to put a check on her speed on that. Otherwise, she's very good. So I found it I really find it nice, interesting to teach her.
It also gives such perfect students a chance as well, because otherwise they'd probably be messed.
Really. I'm sure when the schools reopen again, she's going to get a better chance. Not only Aarti, many students like her, Shashank, that I always think about. Many of our students, non-English speaking students, many of them know the subject. Like any English speaking students, many of them know the subject. Problem is when in a common group, they're not able to express themselves. Like they know what they want to say, they have it in them, but they don't have the confidence to express it. So this program helps them. And that's a big thing, the confidence building. And Aarti is very confident now. Her English has come a long way.
That's great to know. All right, so going to the next segment. So what's one thing about Asha that makes it stand out from other NGOs?
Yeah, one thing I really liked, of course, one thing I did mention earlier, that I like the fact that we're doing it on audio. Things about the audio classes is that it's very safe for the child. Two parts of safety. One is that in spite of the pandemic, they don't have to get out. They are safe within their houses. People who are teaching are safe, and the people who are learning are safe. So there's the audio, the video part of it, that is also reduced. So the internet fear is also reduced for the parents as well, which is a big fear actually. Children spending too much time on the net, that is reduced. Actually, many of them cannot afford. Just for making a mention here, that there are families who have 3 children and only 1 Android phone. So they have to divide that time and try and fit in these 1 hour, which is very difficult for many of the families. Another thing which I found very remarkable about Asha is that we have students like you, as young as you, working for us, and we have people in the older generation also. So it's like a big team across generations, across borders. In the sense, we have people from Bangalore itself, as well as we have people from across India. We have people from Dubai, or America who want to teach these students, which is a very good thing, isn't it? So it's a good cause. The effort towards the cause. I mean, it's not the money. There is no money involved. We haven't seen the students. We are not physically traveling, but the effort to take out the time to sit down wherever you are, take away that 1 hour from your life, sit down and put in effort. That's a big thing. The intention behind it. I just love that thought that people are doing it.
Yeah,
that's very nice. Yeah.
1 hour buys a lot more for those students.
Right. And instead of just saying, oh, so sad, those children are not able to do something. But instead of just saying so sad, people are making the effort. And there is a thought behind that Asha has come forward with such a thought. That's a big thing. I like that.
Well, for the final question, what's one moment that felt really special to you while you were in Asha?
One thing was, Shashank, when we work at a place, if it's just a workplace, we come in, usually when we go to work, it's just 9 to 5, you come, you go, do your work, that's it. And online, it becomes even more difficult because, you hardly see people, especially in a place at times like this. I've only met them. I mean, I haven't met them at all. It's just like they've seen me online or something. So there's no relationship. But here, what happened is, even when I was going through a very bad time, I had a very tough phase, for a week, in my personal life. They all came together, Meera ma'am and Gauri, she's a very good friend, Kavita, all these people, they understood that I need to take time off. And my student, Aarti, she also understood that I need to take time off. They did not press me for my time. They said, okay, it's okay, take time off, finish your work, then you come back. So they know, and they are there to support you, in spite of the fact that they're not, that they don't really know me. So it's more like, that's why I say they are like Asha family. It's not really like a workplace. It's like very supportive friends who are together for a cause. So that makes it very different. And very you feel wanted, in a place like that. That made it. I feel touched when people come together to help you that way. Yeah.
It's more than just an NGO and workspace.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for entertaining these questions and the interview. Before we close, anything a message you would like to give to the younger generation at Asha?
After a particular age, the elders come down to do it, to take their time off. Okay, now we finished our work, now we'll, get on to these causes. And other than that, I think youngsters like yourself, other than getting just for certification or that, for internship, maybe you should come down, try and help people who cannot afford luxuries that we have. We take so many things for granted. Like we spend easily an hour scrolling, isn't it? Easily. It doesn't make much of a difference in our lives. An hour scrolling is nothing for us. So, of a child, what is the blessing that we have got? Okay, so it helps us to respect what we have, and it helps us to try more for somebody else. So it's a do thing, So I think it makes us more responsible and keeps us a little more grounded. I think that's why the younger generation should also be a little more involved in programs like this. That's it.
Thank you so much for entertaining these questions, and hope to meet you again as well.
Hope so too.